Thank you. Okay. Good evening. My name is Jolijn Fiddelaers. I'm working as a textile designer, as you already heard. This is the front page of my website. You can have an idea of what I do. My main job is to design textile collections for companies, mainly producing companies. The next picture shows a collection for the Scandinavian market. And the reason that I'm showing you this, I guess it's just to convince you that I'm a professional industrial designer. I want you to know this before showing you the rest of my presentation, because my conclusion for tonight may be a bit strange for some of you. What this presentation is about, it's information. That means that it's about things that have no form yet. It's information. It's about new ideas that are too subtle to define yet, but will certainly influence my future work as a designer. No doubt that everybody has noticed the effect of mass in our society. Mass consumption, mass production, mass waste. We live in a world of cheap goods and services. The spoils are so abundant that it has lessened the value of products. There is a lot of everything. Instead of focusing on the appearance of the product, we are now thinking about how we produce, what we create, and why we create. For example, how we produce eco, fair trade, organic cotton, cradle to cradle. Companies are trying to make more valuable and sustainable products by involving the consumer in the design process. It's called customization. People can choose their own colors and qualities and create a more personal product that hopefully will last longer. Another reaction towards mass production, in the next slide, is the creation of very limited, exclusive designs. The price is high because of the complex and expensive production process, and of course the name of the designer is needed to make it desirable. There are some prices there too. The concept and the name of the artist are even more important than the object itself. It's not about a functional product or user-friendly qualities. It's all about artistic values. Is this design or is this art? And what's the role of the designer? In the next overview, you can see the reactions towards mass production again. The main thing, I think, is that we now turn away from the product itself, because there's a lot of everything, and we focus more on the thoughts that lie behind the product. This is a very important conclusion, and I'll come back to this later. My personal reaction to all this resulted in my project Trash Poetry, for which I took the limited editions straight out of the mass production. I selected the waste material from the textile industry and framed it. I didn't manipulate the image at all. What you see are traces of various production runs that came together in this way by accident. Each unique piece represents today's international market. You can imagine that if black was not a trend nowadays, the piece of fabric would have never been black as well. The designs you see have all been ordered by worldwide clients in the year 2008. My work is presented in the other room, here in Annecy, together with the work of Sascha Hemels. She uses discarded oil paintings and transforms them by using an industrial laser technique. Industry meets art, art meets industry. Please notice the resemblance in color, form, and layering. Besides showing the trash as art, I also investigated the possibilities for new applications for these fabrics. This resulted in a textile collection. I tried to maintain the typical qualities of the trash, but adjusted the characteristics that were not good. For example, the original material feels stiff and sticky. By applying the laser cut, the fabrics now are much more refined. The fabrics can, for example, be translated into room-height panels or room dividers for architectural spaces. Besides that trash poetry made me think about sustainability, the main new perspective for me is that of co-creation. Co-creation is about relations. The different layers relate to each other and co-create a new image. I watched how these designs came together by accident to create this image. It was information until I recognized the beauty of it. I'm interested in relations because design is all about relations. And fortunately, Cradle to Cradle stressed again the fact that design also relates to the environment. But in order to admit that we only relate to a system instead of being the system itself, we have to be humble. And we have problems being humble. Designers as well as consumers. Remember all the things we saw before as a reaction to mass. We're still comforting our own egos. The next picture shows a natural phenomenon in Thailand. For a few kilometers along the river, millions of fireflies switch on and off at the exact same time. So not like a wave, but at the exact same time. How is this possible? Perhaps it's simply possible because they relate to each other. Co-creation and information are also explained in quantum physics. This science explains, in physical terms, that there's more than meets the eye. It teaches that we are part of a bigger system, like an ecosystem. But our egos are still too big to believe that we are not the system itself. The left picture shows the chaos we've created today by designing beautiful things to comfort ourselves. The fireflies are my metaphor for what we could possibly achieve if we stop seeing ourselves as the center of the world, but just as a tiny part of a bigger system. That's my conclusion. Thank you.